G'day guys, welcome to 2022 on Tools and Stuff. I've got a heap of tools to review coming up. This video we're just going to go over some of them. We're going to go over some of the new Makita tools that have just been released, some of the ones that are about to be released, some of the ones that are upcoming, and some of the ones you guys want. So I hope you had a great Christmas and New Year, and we'll take a look at some of these tools I've got here on the bench shortly. But first up, let's take a look at some that haven't quite made it to this part of the world yet, and no doubt haven't made it to your part of the world yet either. So let's take a look at one that came out just after I insinuated its release was imminent in my last video like this, my last Makita upcoming tools of 2022 video, and that is the trim router. Now when I say trim router, they're actually releasing two, but it kind of looks like it's still only one. There's the RT001G and the RT002G. Now, they're very similar in design to this one, the 18 volt one, but instead of having this base, the new 40 volt will come with a base like this, a clear plastic affair. That's if you get the RT001G. If you get the RT002G, it comes with the plunge base. I don't know if the tool themselves are any different. They don't look to be, so it seems strange they would have two different numbers like that when it's actually the one tool and they're just basing the second number on the accessories, which is a very odd thing for them to do. Normally that would be the RT001G, and then they'd have an extra letter or number on the end if it came with the plunge base, such as the RT001G1P, or whatever the classification would be for a plunge base. But for some reason they've given it a completely different model number. It's probably just to save confusion for the average consumer. They go 001, 002. Yet on Makita New Zealand's website, the RT001G is the only option that it says is available, and it comes with the same base as the 18 volt one came with here. It's aluminium, not plastic, and it is round, not square. Makita releases tools differently in different regions of the world. They often come with different attachments and accessories, and this is another case of that, I guess. In New Zealand you may just get this and you'll buy the plunge base separately. In Japan you can get it with a plunge base or with a clear plastic base like I showed you. So what's it going to be where you live? The highest RPM is 1000 higher than the 18 volt. This one is 30,000. The new 40 volt will go up to 31,000. Variable speed, of course. And according to Makita, the new 40 volt one will get your work done 35% quicker. And the 40 volt version will come with AWS. I'll be looking forward to putting it up against the Hikoki 36 volt trimmer. Yep, that one there is 36 volt. They're the first ones to do a 36 volt trimmer, I do believe. And I'll be putting the 40 volt one up against it when I get my hands on one. So stay tuned for that. If you want to see the review on this, take a look up there, down in the description, etc. But we won't talk too much more about that because this is a Makita video after all. Now this video is going to be mostly about the 40 volt system because that's what Makita are pumping out the tools for at the moment, but we'll see if we can find some new 18 volt stuff. And actually up next, how about something completely different and a new 64 volt tool? That's right, if you didn't see my video a couple of months ago, Makita have released a 64 volt battery. Seems a bit unclear what countries this will be released in, but on launch it will be available with two separate lawnmowers, the LM001J and the LM002J. The 001 being 460mm wide in cut and the 02 being 534mm in cut. It doesn't look like being a battery system that will be used in Japan. It has so far only been released in Singapore, I think, but I think they are going to release it in Europe. It's more for someone who needs a battery lawnmower but doesn't really want to buy into all the other Makita stuff, so it's just a cheap way to get a Makita battery lawnmower for users that don't use all the 40 volt stuff or 18 volt stuff and don't have a ton of batteries kicking around. The cutting heights and widths are very similar to all the other Makita mowers, as are the speeds. It is IPX4 rated. The 64 volt is not a high-end tool line, it's a budget tool line. Sticking with the outdoor power equipment theme, next up we have the MUA002G pole chainsaw. It has a bar length of 250mm or 10 inches. The pole extends to just a whisker under 4 meters long, or over 13 feet. meaning you can cut branches 5 meters above your head. And according to Makita, it's more powerful than the 35cc petrol 4-stroke version that I currently have. The 36 volt 18x2 model is said to be the equivalent of 30cc displacement, whereas this one is 35, so they've managed to get another 5 cc's out of it with the same voltage. And you of course have the advantage of it being a much more compact and lighter tool with having only one battery on it. And it comes with a hook for pulling down branches, which is something that they forgot to put on the damn 4-stroke one, and I've been meaning to put on myself for a long time but haven't got round to. So I'm glad they listened to my complaint about that. If you are after instead an outdoor power solution that is not just a pole saw, why not try out the split shaft system? This is the UX01G. This is a power head that you can use all the existing split shaft attachments on. That's pole saws, sweepers, cultivators, line trimmers, blowers, etc. If you have an 18 volt one of these and you want to upgrade, you only have to upgrade the power head to get the extra power. You don't need to upgrade every individual attachment. So that's good. Same again with the petrol. They all fit in here. So 18 volt, 4-stroke, the old 18x2, whichever one you've got. If you want to upgrade to the 40 volt, just get the head unit here and you'll be good to go. Next up, one I showed an image of in my last video, and that is a portable bandsaw 40 volt, the PB002G. Once again, like I mentioned in the other video, what happened to the 001G? There's obviously another portable bandsaw in production that hasn't come out yet. It may be a smaller version than this one, or maybe a larger version, who knows. This one has the capability of cutting up to 127 millimeters in diameter, or around 5 inches. And that's still all I know about the bandsaw, and it seems that Makita New Zealand are the only ones who have leaked that information thus far. And so yeah, that's all I can tell you at the moment. Next up, one you guys were so excited about last time. That is the new 40 volt kettle. In the last video I announced the 18x2 version. Now we have a 40 volt version, the KT001G. It will boil you up 800 mils of water in approximately 7 minutes. Surprisingly, it's about 600 grams lighter than the 18x2 version. Now it takes two 40 volt batteries, but I'm pretty sure it only uses one at a time. So I think you get about 3 litres of water boiled on a couple of 5 amp hour batteries, or it might be one 5 amp hour battery. Not too sure about that at this stage. But it comes in teal and olive green, whereas the 18x2 version comes in teal and white. Next up, a couple of vacuums, starting with a stick vac, the CL002G. Not too long ago I reviewed the CL001G, which comes with a plastic dust holder, whereas this one, the CL002G, comes with a paper bag type system. That is better if you have allergies, you want to contain dust better and that sort of thing, but it can be a bit expensive if you are using it in your workshop and have to replace paper bags all the time. Also, the dust capacity is much reduced. The CL001G will take 730 mils of dust and shit, whereas the CL002G will only take 500 mils. So the 002 is only 2/3 capacity of the 001. Apart from that, it is basically the same tool, and it can run with a cyclone if you wish, just like the CL001. This VC005G is a more simpler version of the VC001 through to 4 that we spoke of in the last video. It is a dry only vac, doesn't have AWS, will use paper bags for collecting your dust, and can run up to 6 hours on the lowest setting on the 8 amp hour battery, or 44 minutes on full on suck. So that's now at least 7 options available for vacuums on the 40 volt system. Right, what's next? How about a nailer? Now, settle down, calm down. This isn't a framing nailer, it's sort of the complete opposite. It's a little pin tacker. It is the new 40 volt 23 gauge PT001G pin nailer. It is IP56 rated and takes the same amount of nails at the same sizes as the 18 volt version, the 353. But it should give you about 20% more whack over the 18 volt version. You'll get around 6,000 nails fired on a 2.5 amp hour battery, so battery life isn't going to be a problem. And it uses the same spring-loaded type method for firing the nails as the FN001G brad nailer does. If you're after impact wrenches, the mid-torque selection is now available. This is the TW008G, which is with a detent pin. It's not a round ball like they normally are either, it's an actual, comes to a point. The TW007G is the friction ring style. It is rated at 650 Newton meters of tightening force and 1100 Newton meters of nut busting torque. It has a bunch of different modes and buttons down there, which we'll have a look at when we do the review for this. There's a new fan out, the 330 centimeter version or 13 inch. It is the CF002G and it has been very helpful in the past few days. It's summer here at the moment in New Zealand and I have been using this and it has been very helpful and it has fantastic battery life. There'll be a full review of that available shortly. Or the plunge saw, a few of you have seen this in the background of my videos recently and it's a nice wee bit of kit. This is quite an in-depth tool and if you can't wait for my review on this, why not check out this review up here and down in the description, and I'll chuck it in the comment section as well. It's a different channel. If you don't want to wait for my channel review, go check that one out. Highly recommend it. This is the SP001G and it is a very nice saw and the full review will be out soonish. And if you kind of like the idea of running a circular saw on a track, but you don't want a plunge saw because you know, well, you'll end up stuffing it basically. So you just want a basic circular saw, but you want to be able to chuck it on a track from time to time. Well, look at that. It's finally available in New Zealand and I think in Australia. Was released in Europe a long time ago, but it's taken them a while to get it here. This is the HS004G 40 volt circular saw. It is 185 millimeters or 7 1/4 inches. It is very similar to the HS003 except for you have that track option which does reduce your depth of cut, I do believe. We'll have a look at that in a video soon. And last but certainly not least, the AS001G. I think we need better lighting, eh? Let's whack up some lights on this thing. This is the air duster. It is a very cool little tool. This is like a blower that you fit in your hand. There is a ton of attachments available for this thing. Here in New Zealand you will get 5 attachments, 5 nozzles. They clip in very easily, like so. To release them, nice and easy, bit like an impact driver. It has 4 different speeds. You can buy a ton of extra other attachments. If you want to see the full review of this tool, check out my video tomorrow. That's right, it'll be out tomorrow. You don't have too long to wait. If you are watching this more than 24 hours after I have released this video, then it might be available up here in the top corner or down in the description or in the comment section. Hopefully I'll remember to put it there after I release this video. I still have a lot of things to test it out on. It is very cool so far though, and it helped me out at 3 o'clock in the morning the other day when my aircon unit in the bedroom was making a hell of a racket, and I thought, what am I going to do? I need this thing turned on, but it sounds like something's jammed in there. I was looking at it with a torch and I thought, what can I do here? And then I remembered this thing. I ran down to the garage, went back up, gave it a quick blast, and whatever it did, it fixed it. So it's already paid for itself essentially. Anyway, check that one out tomorrow on the channel. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Sorry there wasn't much in the way of 18 volt tools in this video, but the heat gun, I was hoping to have that in the shot today, but the DHG181 that is, but it looks like it's been delayed. Probably won't get it for another couple of months now. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you like videos like this, make sure you subscribe. If you want to see all the reviews and stuff of all these tools, make sure you are subscribed, hit the like button, all that good stuff, and I will see you on another one tomorrow. And check out my other channel, builds and stuff, because I've probably just put a video up on that one as well. Okay, cool. Thanks. See ya.